We know that mainstream media isn't doing well, unfortunately, and we know that after Trump's win, that was kind of the nail through the coffin of the dying legacy media that lied through this process, lied through since 2016, and probably before then, but really mostly through from 2016 on. And it's really taking effect, folks. Like CNN. CNN announced layoffs as it revamps its schedule and digital strategy. Digital strategy. So the network that barely gets viewers, they're concerned that it's not digitized enough. Rather than focusing on the journalistic ethics, which they don't have, which is completely gone down the drain at CNN, where it's just an absolute joke and a mockery that they call themselves journalists. They're more focused on how do we digitize it? How do we get CNN more streamable? Coming from network executives that look like Red Foreman. Look at that. He does look like Red Foreman. So it says CNN is laying off around 6% of its workforce, the company announced Thursday morning, as it institutes sweeping new changes to the 45-year-old news network, including a new weekday show lineup and digital strategy. CNN CEO Mark Thompson announced that CNN will soon unveil a new streaming service and redesigned digital footprint and new subscriber services, as well as a new show lineup. CNN parent company Warner Brothers Discovery is investing $70 million into CNN's digital plans, Thompson said. Just to remind people, CNN already had a digital streaming service. They had CNN Plus. Or yeah, it was CNN Plus. And it barely lasted a month. They put so much money into the streaming services. They brought Chris Wallace on to he was gonna host an extended show. There was gonna be an Anderson Cooper extended hour on CNN Plus. And what happened to it? They put all this money into it, and it barely lasted a month because no one wanted to watch it. No one. So why would you put more money into a streaming platform to a network that no one's watching? That makes no sense. It makes no sense. The layoffs mean that 200 jobs will be lost, although Thompson said in a note to staff that there will be many new job openings so that the company doesn't expect overall headcount to fall much by the end of the year. The changes we're announcing today are part of an ongoing response by this great news organization. Yes, so great to the, what is it, 55,000 people that still watch it. And that's a gross, exaggerated number because I'm pretty sure that's including all the airports and restaurants and bars and uh, any place that puts it on the background, senior homes, hospitals, they just put it on the background as just kind of white noise. Nobody really cares or pays attention to, but it's just, oh, it's on. Don't worry, we have our own here in Canada. To profound and irreversible shifts in the way audiences in America and around the world consume news, Thompson wrote in a memo to staff. Yeah, that's because they're coming to podcasts. They're coming to YouTube. They're coming to X because you guys failed horribly to inform people. You don't inform people. You misinform people purposely on behest of the government, on behest of Wall Street, on the behest of the military industrial complex. You lied deliberately to people. And then the people that catch you in the act, you then ridicule them. You attack them. Our objective is a simple one: to shift CNN's gravity towards the platforms and products where the audience themselves are shifting, and by doing that, to secure CNN's future as one of the world's greatest news organizations. Oh, way to boast about yourself. One of the greatest news world organizations. Oh. Then again, it's like when football in the NFL, when they do the Super Bowl and they whatever team becomes winner, they say that they're champions of the world. Well, the Super Bowl is only played in America. I don't know if they know that. There's no Chinese football team playing against the Patriots or the Chiefs. You're the champions of the world of an American institution by American teams only in America. Champions of the world. America and the world need high quality, fair-minded, trustworthy sources of news more than ever. That's why you don't have an audience. That's why you're bankrupt. That is why you have to do all this. And you're doing the most stupidest way possible. Because you're not changing the quality, you're just changing the quantity. Your excuse is, oh, we just need to digitize more. We need to stream CNN because, yeah, all the younger people just don't have access to watch CNN anymore. That's why they're not watching. God. This is difficult and sometimes painful process of change is the only way to make sure we could still provide it. Oh my God. The cuts have been long expected as the network revamps and reshapes its news operation with a focus on digital growth. Nearly all major news networks are dealing with drops in viewership and revenue as they face increasing headwinds from an audience dissipating to other platforms. Last summer, CNN cut 100 people, about 3% of its workforce, as it reorganized its news gathering operation. Saying they're getting news gathering operation. I mean, what? How much gathering are you getting when literally the CIA is directly telling you what stories to present? How much gathering are you doing? Like, when I do this podcast, when I do this show here, I'm searching through sources, I'm getting information, I'm finding videos to connect with. That's news gathering. All they have to do is read a prompter that I'm sure was already put together and proofread by intelligence agencies that work at the network. News gathering operation. CNN has launched a paid subscription service at $3.99 per month. Again, a paid subscription service to a network that no one's watching. This is how dumb are these people? How dumb are these people at CNN? Nobody's watching you, but we're going to charge people to watch your service, to get your information. For which readers are asked to pay after they consume a certain number of free articles, and select stories are placed behind a paywall. On Thursday, Thompson announced there will be further subscriber products, including CNN's first lifestyle-oriented digital product. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Is this going to be like an Anderson Cooper Cooks segment? Are they going to do like TikTok videos or Jim Acosta is showing workout routines? First lifestyle-oriented digital. Because, you know, when people want to watch lifestyle programming, of course they're going to go to a failing news organization. Of course. This is too funny. Although CNN already has a streaming service with CNN Max, which honestly sounds like a certain product that you're concerned about sizing. CNN Max. Thompson says there are plans to launch an additional streaming product, although it did not yet get announced what kind of programming the new streaming service will provide. Max, as it stands, is not a complete answer to the future of the great linear CNN experience, Thompson wrote. The CNN experience. There's an idea. There's an idea for your digital product. We could do a garage, middle-aged garage band with all the former anchors and call it the CNN experience. Wow. I'm just pitching ideas. I'm trying to help you guys. I'm not just mocking CNN, even though that's easy to do. I'm coming up with products for you guys. Like, don't get me wrong. Under the new weekday lineup, Wolf Blitzer's Situation Room will move to 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and will now include Pamela Brown as co-anchor, replacing Jim Acosta's hour. Audie Cornish, who has been a hosting of a podcast for CNN, will now be an anchor for a new 6 a.m. show, while Cassie Hunt moves to 4, blah, blah, blah. Solomon, Jake Tapper, yada, yada, yada. A CNN spokesperson said that they are in active discussions with Jim Acosta, about a new time slot and will have more information to share soon. The new weekday lineup, Thompson wrote, will bring energy and competitive edge while also putting production costs on sustainable footing to match the changing economics of linear television platforms. The new schedule launches in March. So again, don't change the quality, just more quantity. And since the quality is so crap that no one's watching it, why would people want more? Why would people want more ways to watch garbage that they're not watching? This is how stupid these people are. And considering CNN already had a streaming service that failed horribly, why do they want to repeat the same mistakes? Why? Why are they so stupid? I mean, clearly, no one's watching because no one wants to be just insidiously insulted by this failing organization that pretends to be caring about news. That they consistently lie. And they don't have real journalistic integrity or ethics whatsoever. That's why there's so many podcasts, so many people out there that are debunking CNN on the regular. And they get way more viewership than anytime anyone's watching CNN. I always joke that the last thing CNN ever made any decency on was Anthony Bourdain. And sadly, he's passed away. That was the last thing that CNN ever, of quality, ever produced. Was Anthony Bourdain's show. And now with him gone, it's gotten even worse. So, Jim Acosta, who they said was going to change to a new time slot, to midnight. Because that's always good. Have a news anchor from weekday all the way to midnight. So the drunks and breastfeeding mothers can maybe watch him. I don't know. Who's watching the news at midnight? Yahoo News says Trump critic Jim Acosta leaves CNN rather than accept the move to midnight graveyard shift. Now, to be fair, you're an anchor at CNN. You're already pretty much on a graveyard shift. And I'm not just talking about the viewership. I'm not just talking about the elderly, almost dead viewership. But Jim Acosta, rather than staying with CNN, because he knows that going to midnight is not going to make anything better, is going to leave. So here's what he said in response to this. And he said it right on his show. Right on his show where nobody got to saw it. No one saw it. But luckily we have video of it. Listen.
Just wanted to end today's show by thanking all of the wonderful people who work behind the scenes at this network. You may have seen some reports about me and the show. And after giving all of this some careful consideration and weighing an alternative time slot CNN offered me, I've decided to move on. I am grateful to CNN for the nearly 18 years I've spent here doing the news. People often ask me if the highlight of my career at CNN was at the White House covering Donald Trump. Actually, no. That moment came here when I covered former President Barack Obama's trip to Cuba in 2016 and had the chance to question the dictator there, Raul Castro, about the island's political prisoners. As the son of a Cuban refugee, I took home this lesson. It is never a good time to bow down to a tyrant. I've always believed it's the...
There's a reason why people like Aaron Mate, one a very, very, very great independent journalists and investigators, wins awards for his journalism. Well, this guy tells his biggest career is, I got to ask questions in front of the great Barack Obama. You see where the journalistic ethics went towards. That this guy who's supposed to be the claimed newsman, that everybody else is a bunch of suspicious liars, that all these conspiracy nuts on the internet. Saying Aaron Mate wins awards. Max Blumenthal wrote a bunch of best-selling books because he investigates, he questions, he holds people accountable. This guy is a schmuck for the state. That's it.
The job of the press to hold power to account. I've always tried to do that here at CNN, and I plan on doing all of that in the future. One final message. Don't give in to the lies. Don't give in to the fear. Hold on to the truth and to hope. Even if you have to get out your phone, record that message. I will not give in to the lies. I will not give in to the fear. Post it on your social media so people can hear from you too.
So, of course, he's trying to make this to the point of people using social media as news gathering. But it sounds funny that he's saying this on CNN, like he's telling CNN viewers, get out. Don't be part of this cult. Get out. Don't be watching me. Like, he could almost use this in, like, the way that The Network, the movie from the 70s, did the same thing. Like, it was his last day. He was about to delete himself off the air. We'll use that term. And on his last day, he said, don't watch this crap. Don't watch us. Everything we do is a bunch of lies. It's all gobbledygook. Like, that, he could be doing that. Could be doing that. But instead, he's going to make even more of an embarrassment of himself. Well, you know, don't believe the lies. You mean the people like us. You know, new people that actually gather news and present it to you. And actually hold things accountable and looks things critically and accurately. Don't believe that. Don't believe that. Trust me. Trust someone like me with a fancy suit reading a teleprompter that was written up by the State Department. I'm just repeating that garbage to you. And they wonder why CNN's failing so much. They wonder, it's got to be, there's not enough podcasts. There's not enough streaming service. Just young kids aren't able to find CNN these days. That's the problem. So we're just going to plant it in people's phones. We're going to do another streaming service. We're going to do lifestyle-oriented programming. I would actually be interested to see that. I think if they did a lifestyle-oriented program, streaming service for CNN, that's probably where they get all their viewers from. Like, nobody's going to be watching the news part. They're just going to wonder what Anderson Cooper is grilling on the barbecue. I would actually tune in to see that. I would actually prefer these journalists to do cooking segments than present news, because they're stenographers. They make an embarrassment to journalism, whatever that may be. So Donald Trump even chimed in on this. And you know that Donald Trump and Jim Acosta are butting heads, and you know about the incident where Donald Trump told Jim Acosta to sit down because he was just being a repugnant asshole, to use lightly. And Donald Trump says, wow, really good news. Jim Acosta, one of the worst and most dishonest reporters in journalistic history, a major sleazeball, has been regulated by CNN fake news to the midnight hour, Death Valley, because of extraordinary bad ratings and no talent. Word is that he wants to quit, and it would be better for him. Jim is a major loser who will fail no matter where he ends up. Good luck, Jim. I love how I used to throw that in. Good luck, Jim. You're a failure. You're awful. Good luck to you. And that got 2.92 thousand. That's True Social. Retweets. 15.3 thousand likes. That's how much they despise a person like Jim Acosta. And they think that CNN going digital is the problem with this, not the quality of journalism. That's not going to change. There's still going to be stenographers for the state. They're still going to lie to you. They're still going to propagandize you. They lied to you at every point in term for the last how many decades. None of that's going to change. But they're just going to make it easier for you to get to it. More accessible, more digital. We're going to stream the horrific measures of this dying network. So, incredible that CNN will still be a failure because they cannot comprehend on the fact that their own standards, what little they have left, is making this a dying network. That they did this to themselves. They think it's because of you. It's because of, the changing audience. People are streaming things now, so we just gotta stream CNN. No, it's because people want to get away from your dishonesty. They're gonna come to places like me. They're gonna go to Jimmy Dore. They're gonna go to Kim Iverson. They're gonna go to Joe Rogan for an honest, nuanced conversation and actual accountability and critical thinking than any schmuck at CNN. That's why. That's why you're dying. It's not because there's not enough lifestyle programming. Or you need to digitize it. Everyone's going to have a podcast now. Great. Because that's not going to change anything. There's still going to be idiots. There's still going to be servants to the state. They're going to be stenographers. And their ratings are just going to get worse. And for Warner Brothers Discovery, their parent company, to even fork out that kind of money to save CNN, they're even idiotic with this. Like, why? Save your money and put it towards something useful. Put it towards your other assets, because it's on its way out. That's the honest truth. It's on its way out. They did it to themselves.